Okay, welcome everybody to the Overthinking Football Show. I do this every Monday to Friday, 12:30 in the afternoon, and then also Monday to Wednesday at 8 p.m. Tonight we're going to be doing a watch along. So I'm not going to be live at 8. I'm going to be live at 7:30 for the Sundowns match. If you do want to watch any of the previous lives, hear what my amazing panels have been speaking about and the conversations we've had here, please be sure to check it out on Facebook and also on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube, follow on Facebook, please, guys. It's Overthinking Football. So yeah, please follow me that side, and then you'll be able to see that and other really cool content that I have on both those platforms that is just a little bit too long for YouTube. Okay, can we try get to 15,000 likes today? 15,000 likes, please. Let's get to 15,000 likes. So today, the topic is very simple. We're gonna have a talk about the reactions. It's gonna be a shorter show than usual, but yeah, 2 panels, and we'll speak about the 2 matches as we have it. Replays of what happened in the league, guys. It's replays of what happened in the league. As you know, Pirates lost to Stellenbosch in their first game of the league. Trey, how you doing? First game of the league. And then Kaizer Chiefs lost to Sundowns in the first game of the league by very questionable goals. By very questionable goals. The first goal that Sundowns scored was an offside. It has been checked and dissected, but because we don't have VAR, it's fine. So I'm going to open up, guys. Remember that you have to be following me in order to jump onto the panel. If you're on Facebook, please follow on TikTok, and then you'll be able to jump onto one of my panels and speak to me. On TikTok itself, guys, follow, and then at the bottom there's a button that says multi-guest, and then you can request. I hope Chiefs win this one. I also wish Chiefs win this one. Long story short, the final is going to be Pirates Sundowns. I don't know, F boys. I don't know. I'm going to start off with Stellenbosch Orlando Pirates. Let's talk Stellenbosch Orlando Pirates. A replay of that game. Let's see who's here. Okay, this is what I'll do. And okay, let's do that. Maluma Kutso, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you doing?
Good day, Mr. Uti. How are you?
No, I'm okay. Firstly, just your general thoughts about going back to a team that handed you that loss that woke you guys up.
Oh, my network is Am I audible? I'm going to continue.
Just a little bit closer or louder. I don't know. I can't hear you properly.
It should be better.
There we go.
Okay, when it's back.
There we go.
Yeah, it's a good draw. It's a good draw for us to right our wrongs and make sure we start off to get off to a perfect start.
Yeah.
If we can just beat them twice, then we can rub everything that happened on the first day. But it will also be interesting, or can they defend deep for 3 games? Can they employ the same strategy for 3 games? And one of the games being at the slaughterhouse is Godinska Maminzela. So I'm happy that we got Stellenbosch. You could have taken anyone, to be honest. But Stellenbosch is just fine. I know my problem, Chiefs. Not that I'm scared of Chiefs, but I know you pull up your socks, man. During
the occasion. That's our trophy, Pele.
Yeah, when it comes to that, there's only one way to beat Chiefs, and we beat Chiefs through a draw, penalties. So, I get happy. So, I'm happy at Stellenbosch.
Okay.
And I just want to put it on the record. Sundowns is benefiting, but yeah.
Hey, I saw some replays of some things, but Ritariboda. Finja, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you doing?
Right, man. Yeah, it's been an interesting day yesterday, watching these replays and listening to this uh, former referees analyzing everything. But the draw, very interesting draw.
Mm.
I I think with the stage that Sundowns is playing and the level of game that Sundowns is playing,
Let's start with
uh,
Pirates Stellenbosch. We're starting with
I'm,
Pirates
I'm,
Stellenbosch.
I'm going there
Okay,
with
okay.
both of them. I'm talking of both of them. I think it's a good draw for both of the four teams. I
Mm,
think I think Stellenbosch would want to a Pirates,
mm,
and Pirates would want a Stellenbosch.
mm, mm,
I
mm,
think after the league games, and I think Chiefs would want a Sundowns, and Sundowns would also want a Chiefs.
mm, mm, mm,
I think Sundowns also doesn't want the Pirates, and Pirates also don't want the Sundowns. I
mm,
think it's a draw clubs are actually say, okay, I'll prefer a Sundowns over a Pirates, and
mm,
I will prefer a Pirates, a Stellenbosch over a Chiefs or a
mm,
Sundowns.
mm,
I think it's
mm,
what
mm,
that's for me. I think as a management of the club and the technical team, that I'll be happy with this draw, either of the teams.
mm, mm. Okay, let me bring in Jebs. Jebs, welcome to the show. How you doing, my brother?
Khamba kahle bro.
No, ngikran my uthi ngale match Pirates Stellenbosch.
You know where I come from, there's a time they're going to work on corrections.
Mm,
Both of
mm,
these
mm.
figures were correct.
You
Bonakala
correct
ukuthi
Pirates.
definitely Pirates izowenza ama-corrections with Stellenbosch. No, not to undermine Stellenbosch. Yazi
Mm,
uzosinika tough games both home and away, but at the end of the day we have more firepower
mm,
compared to them.
mm,
But
mm,
yeah,
mm,
but the way ngibona ngakhona the Pirates will go through to the final.
mm,
I don't know about the second.
mm. Yeah, Sophia, let me bring in Zesho. Zesho, welcome to the show. How you doing, my brother? Oh, Zesho. You can just unmute it. There we go.
It's man, Newtil. How are you, man?
No, I'm good in you, my brother.
Yeah, I think I'm well. I'm well. I was celebrating the past days, that's why I was not around. Anyway, I think
Hey, network is lit. Network is lit. Tell me what
Pirates.
you
I
think
think they will
about
go
Pirates and
all the
Stellenbosch.
way, maybe to the final title. Um, okay. Pirates, I think, will go all the way to defend their MTN8 trophy against Stellenbosch, but it's going to be a tough encounter. Saying so because of I foresee the energy, yeah, both teams. I think Pirates will go through. Even the first game away league, Stellenbosch, I think they survived. That was a lucky win actually because Pirates was all over them. But this is a cup game, so Pirates they are defending champions. I think Pirates will go all the way. As for Pirates and Chiefs and Sundowns, I think sodinga i-VAR for leyo game ngoba ngathi sibona
Yeah.
inkinga.
We'll come to that one. We'll come to that one.
Yeah.
I wanna go back to Malume Kutso. Malume Kutso, let's talk about this is a team that beat you guys in the first game of the season due to maybe some tactical choices, Makaring and Hoto, that those choices that were made by the coach. What's the approach for Jose? I mean, we know that when you're at Orlando Stadium, it's going to be hot. The crowd is going to be up for it. They're really going to want it. But when you go to Danny Craven, do you think that you guys are going to go with the same approach? Do you foresee any of the two matches being hard for you at this current moment?
Two different games. I think the home and away factor will definitely come into the picture. The infrastructure, go Danny Craven, like I said, it's a high school stadium, inter high vibes, horrible pitch. You can see already just a day before a football game, they play a rugby game there. So we might need to employ different tactics, but then we do have players. It's not in our DNA, ne? But if push comes to shove, and I'm forced to think, and I'm forced to assist, and I get a chance to assist to Rivera, we do have Bo Maru, we do have Bo Evanga to say, you know what, we can make space physically now. But like I said, the game against Stellenbosch, there were some openings which our players were not calm enough to expose.
Okay.
And against Royal AM, we got a similar situation where Mangani did a Mangtore, and he was put to bed. So if we get in epoxy against Stellenbosch, Shapavala nje Tsotse Robale, it's a goal. That guy Olahlile. I wanna tell every PS, if you've got PSL strikers listening to this, that guy is reckless. Utore wa Stellenbosch, he is reckless. Kimbo, that guy. Just go to him, handle a hammer, let him go to bed in front of you. And they don't have a keeper. We just didn't get enough shots on goal. Stevens. So if we can get just enough shots on goal, we can even get 4 against Stellenbosch. Kotani Craven.
Oh, you're saying in Kotani Craven you could get 4?
Network is showing.
Yeah, network is showing you flames there.
We can get 4 Kotani Craven because of those 2 people, the centre back as well as the keeper.
Okay, let me go to Sinje. Sinje, is Pirates going to have an easy time? I see everybody in the comments is saying, yeah, Pirates, this is possibly going to be a walkover. It's the best draw that they could have gotten Pirates to the final. Isn't Stellenbosch going to give you a bit of worries? Give Pirates a bit of worries.
Look, I don't think so, ne? I think as much as Pirates won, but that game was not as a walkover as the score line. That 5-0, I think that 5-0 Master didn't talk about the Paris. They think that all of a sudden they are the best team ever. But it's not as close as it was. As the game was not as close as the score
says
displayed. Yeah. I don't think so. I think it's not going to be as a walkover as I think it will be, but I think they might go through. But it won't be a walkover. That's what I'm saying. They're going to go through, but it's not going to be a walkover.
How important is the first or second game? I'm assuming that the first game is going to be at Donny Craven. Let's say they started Orlando. Are we still saying the same thing?
Yes. Look, I think if they started Orlando, I think Stellies will look for a 1-0 win.
Okay.
And frustrate Pirates at home. Yeah, I think it's going to be the away and home. I think Pirates will want to do the best they can at home. And I think Stellies will go there just to frustrate them and just get in 1-0 home and go home with that 1-0 goal and frustrate Pirates heavily in that horrible pitch.
Okay, let me go to Jebs. Jebs, it's a chance for Pirates to redeem themselves versus the team that they have their loss versus. Do you think that this game is going to be as easy as people are saying, man? I've just heard Pirates fans telling me that they got the easier draw.
Honestly speaking, knowing football is not going to be easy. Cup game, my family, it's not going to be easy. So Stellenbosch will give us a run for our money. Cape Town, maybe they will get it, bro.
Okay.
They us in draw in 1-1, but then we'll finish the job in Orlando. That's where the game will is win Orlando. So it's not going to be easy. But we will go through to the final, but it's not going to be easy.
But what do you think if they start, let's say it starts at Orlando, is it better or worse for Stellenbosch?
Chemically Orlando worse for Stellenbosch because the game will finish up with good first. That's why Pirates is more stronger than me game. I say chemically Orlando. It was going to be over in first leg, but now iqale Cape Town, that's where Stellenbosch in advantage. Also, no, you know what? Let's frustrate them. Maybe example, luckily they might get a win because football is football. As much as football is football. You must frustrate winning, but then come second leg and then it's all break loose.
Okay, let me bring you Zesho. Is Pirates just going to walk over Stellenbosch like nothing? Or is this going to be a tough game for them?
It's gonna be a tough game for the Pirates. It's not just gonna be a walkover, though I'm assuming that the Pirates is going to go all the way to the final, but it's not going to be that easy like that Kukune game. It's going to be a ball game because I think Rivero already have studied that game where they lost to Stellenbosch 1-0, and I think also who's the coach of the team?
Who's Steve Barker?
Coach
Jose Rivero.
Stellenbosch.
Yeah, Steve Barker.
Yeah, I think now he did the study. Yeah, I think he did the study as well. He studied Pirates. Against Pirates. So it's not just going to be a walk on the park. So it's going to be a difficult game to win for Pirates, though. Stellenbosch so I think so they might push for a win because, as I said, now we won a 50-50 good to win a game because for me almost they play almost similar, but the Pirates like more than Stellenbosch. I can say Pirates is 60-70% and then Stellenbosch is maybe on a 30%. So it's not going to be a walkover. Pirates is going to go all the way to the final.
Okay. Malume Khoza, I'm going to come back to you. Now, I want you to put yourself in Steve Barker's shoes. You've just seen Pirates score 9 goals in 2 games in the past week, right? How then, what's your plan going forward? Are you still going to go with we're going to defend and try hit them with Reiners and Van Wyk? Do you change it because you see that Pirates has changed what they're doing from that first game that you guys played? What would you think his approach would be?
Well, something new, so that's why.
Good. So I'm gonna jump you. Let me go into Sinje. Sinje, same question to you. Nine goals Eswabugele in 5 days after the game that they played. Do you think that Barker should go in with the same approach he played the first game with? Defend, maybe let Reiners and Van Wyk try hurt them again? And can he sustain that for 2 games, 2 legs?
Look, I think he's going to come up with a little bit of a better game management plan.
Okay.
To deprive Orlando Pirates with the spaces, block the middle park, ensure that Undlondlo is not as mobile as he is, and the two attacking midfielders, the Pirates, are not as fluent as they are, by depriving them the ball and also depriving them the spaces when Pirates have the ball, to frustrate the movement and circulation of the ball that Pirates is now demonstrating that they are starting to master very well. So I think that is going to be his tactics going forward, playing against Pirates again.
How important is Orlando Stadium in this? Because you can tell that when that place gets rocking,
it's going to be very important. You must understand, because it creates an atmosphere which is favorable to Orlando Pirates. It creates that energy, that extra hunger, that fighting spirit that we are at home, and also they would want to shut the noise down. You know, they would want to shut the noise down and create pressure on the technical team as well. So it's an opportunity on both teams.
So say that's why I want to stick with this. Say Stellenbosch is able to keep Orlando quiet. Do you think that it will have we haven't seen it happen yet, but do you think that it would have a
Yeah.
negative effect on these Pirates players? Do you think that they feed so much off
Yes,
of that
definitely.
crowd?
Definitely. I think Orlando Pirates, we must understand there's a love and hate relationship between Orlando Pirates and the head coach, the
Mm,
fans and
mm,
the
mm,
and the head
mm.
coach. They are result based, but they can see the game is not there. But if they lose this, trust me, Orlando Pirates fans are going to forget about the 2 trophies last season.
Okay. Jabs, same questions to you. What should Steve Barker's approach be? Because watching 9 go in the 5 games, I would imagine that they're gonna come and hit me. We don't know what's gonna happen with Chipa today, but how do you think you should handle this game?
I think Baka right now uzohlalela phansi lama game o-2 because I don't think he can defend both of those games 180 minutes. I think somehow he has to come to Pirates pound to pound, not the entire 90 minutes, but kodwa i-strategy sakhe kuyomele asisebenzise ngempela ukuthi ushaya ama-counter attack because Red will go all out in both best in the way. So I think he a plan around lap. And first leg I can give him it ukuthi no angaphuma nama results. It's either uyayithola draw or he win. When it comes to Orlando, uzoba nenkinga.
Mara nagu Skukune almost made it 1-1. They conceded all their goals late. Is there a possibility Guti he can make that stadium keep quiet? And will that hurt some players with Pirates? Because Pirates, it seems Guti they feed off of crowd up.
Yeah. Once let us say firstly kutholi draw and then maybe Orlando ukora first. That ngacishe kusebenze kwi-benefit yakhe or kuphinde kumhethe because once wakora kwi-Pirates that's where you open i-Pirates iba more ivuka kakhulu kunaleti evukayo kuyona iphuma siba more safe. So if ungakhona ukuyihandlisha leyo nto they can punish you just like that. Kodwa think i-strategy sakhe kumele sibe lapho ukuthi ekhaya akathole something is either win noma draw and then Orlando so ukuthi ukora first so just ukuthi kile spirit sise Orlando Pirates because the Pirates will come to him both my home first and away.
Okay, that's sure. As much as they've scored the 9 goals, you could look at this Kukune game and say up to a certain point, they looked whereas Kukune could have made it 1-1 and then maybe we'd see a different game. Do you think that Barca should maybe go attacking one of these legs because you can't defend that much? And also at Orlando Stadium, maybe if you can sneak a goal or 2, you can use the crowd against the team. What do you think his approach should be?
I think Steve Barker's approach, he should try and go for a pound for pound in the Pirates. I think plus they shouldn't let Pirates play because if Pirates play, you're gonna defend automatically. You're gonna defend. So if Pirates play, I think Steve Barker's teams should also play and should also defend very well, especially in the middle of the park where the Pirates have the likes of Ndlondo and Abumnari, and then Emma Wing and they've got Abu Saleng. I think like those are the spaces Stellenbosch should try and solve before going to this game because when Abu Ndlondo gets to start playing Nabo Mnari, it's going to cause them problems. He must, I think, make sure the Bethlehem midfield is more like Siyashaya na mina nawe you understand. Okay. So yeah, for I think for Nase njengoba ubuza futhi ngendaba yase away and home game Stellenbosch must figure ku Orlando Pirates. They must not think about defending. I don't think like defender is a right direction for any team, because if you defend ngeke uhlala boxing umise izandla kanti bazohlezi bakuketula ngama-right bayokuketula waya so whether it's home or it's away, I think Steve Barker's team should go all out Orlando and try to attack. Maybe they can find a goal or two.
Okay.
You'll never know. This is football. It can easily humble you. But I think that's the only way to block those 5 goals from Paris. If you defend, it will be worse for you because you're going to allow Paris to come at you, and that's what you don't want to happen to you, because it's going to be a very for you on that day.
Okay. Lastly, gents, on the first panel, like I said, it's going to be a shorty show today. Sinjay, who are the dangerous players from each of the teams? Who should we look out for?
Look, I think from Paris team, I think I'm interested to see Usale being consistent. I'm interested to see Ulapasa being consistent as well. I'm also interested to see who's this Dare
Okay.
in the Paris.
Would you say that
in the
Ndara is
Paris.
one of the weak points, though?
I wouldn't say weak point. I wouldn't say weak point. But he's also a player that I'm yet to see him going to his full potential.
Okay. And then on the Stellenbosch side, who are you afraid of? I mean, we had Abo Rinas, we had Abo Van Veek last time who took advantage of Pirates.
Yes. I'm trying to see. There's a gentleman, I forgot his name. I'm trying to see quickly from Stellenbosch and Pirates that played very well. But I also want to see the depth of the squad as well.
Do they even
Come
have
to
the
play.
depth?
That's the thing. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay.
And from teams, I'm here to see. I want to see these boys come in that performed last season.
From where? From which man?
I want to see. I think now that I've rewatched the match against Tawan,
I CJ. We won the Pirates game. This is where. But let me bring it in, James. Let me bring it in, James. James, who are the players the team should be afraid of on both sides?
Mfethu uma ngiqala ngeStellenbosch, I think thethwa lapha esitweni kumele enyusa amasokisi, because once wadedela iPirates yadominate isizwe, that's it. That's the one key player I think that Stellenbosch needs to work around yena. And then Rain will always be threat. I don't what will always be threat. Then ngithanda ukubona uSekotla approve wrong abanye abantu, because Sekotla there is something I don't know, but kodwa yile mlimaza, but kodwa unayo potential ukuthi aphakamisa amasokisi, but angazi phinde lahleke. So it's one of babona bangaba utiye ukuthi bethole some sort of results, especially umthetho esitweni, because once wavala iPirates esitweni done. When it comes to Pirates, the personally mangibuka lama game awu-3 Pirates sewadlalile yayidlala neStellenbosch noma ne-Royal AM aphinde yadlala. Mabuka lo game, the only person who wins the Pirates is Undlondo. I don't know mhlawumbe ngomina ngoba indlela engibuka ngayo ibhola uNdlondlo uyenza uyaliseculate ibhola uyenza yonke i-team i-function, so uyena umdlali I'm looking forward ukuthi uzoqhubeka nale forma yakhe so that ezothola supply bona bo Salenge emasayidini nolipasa phambili, so uyena umdlali eager ukumbona ukuthi izoba consistent kule season.
And then umfukeng amsabi kanti.
Umfukenge ngiyakuyena leya ngane I hope leya ngane ingaba ibe humble, ibe grounded, ingathathi udumo libeke ekhanda because there's something about leya ngane and I don't want to ukuyifaka i-pressure emahlombe ayo, but there's something special ngaleya ngane, so kumele be-protect nabama-senior player because mningi sisazokugena lapho.
Okay. Zesho, tell me who your danger players are for both teams.
For Stellis, obviously, we have our Rainers, Abu Van Veeki, and then I think defense Stellenbosch. I think defense Stellenbosch is tough, like is strong. They didn't concede many goals. Pirates. I think defense Stellenbosch did so well, even coming from those they lost against. Was it Polokwane City? I don't remember. They just lost the game recently beside the MTN8. I think the defense did quite well as the Super Sport game. They did well. I think they're gonna need to up their game abomthethwa in midfielding so that they can challenge the likes of Wundlond. They shouldn't let those guys play. That attitude ukuthi they can do it. Ngokubona attitude Stellenbosch, those boys are really like tough, and i-fitness yabo yiyo futhi ezo-challenger i-Pirates, because I think that's where they're gonna go pound to pound in the Pirates, because i-Pirates iyagijima and you need abantu abagijimayo wena uyi-Stellenbosch. You need to go forward and go search for those goals yabona. And then for the Pirates, for me now, like i-Pirates depth yabo like is strong, plus the only thing ngingayinotisanga ama-South African lawo mewadlala ku-Pirates, sonke isquad sabo lesidlala this past weekend, so they are tough opponents i-Pirates to any other opponents, abo Mfukeni, abo Saling ngapha, abo Mnari, and yet abanye abakabi khona ama-player maningi ama-player ukuthi ama-starlets lapha teamini ye-Pirates, those who can make a huge difference again. So I think energy kuleyo game izobaluleka for Stellenbosch. They're gonna run off so now in the Pirates they're gonna have to do the same thing. If vele Stellenbosch iza ngokucompete vele kulelo game, they must come and compete because they are gonna work. I'm telling you, Pirates izobasebenzisa kakhulu, so they need to get their levels and energy 100% and limit amount of mistakes, because Pirates, when you do mistakes, that's where they punish you because they are a lot quicker. So you won't need mistakes from middle field. Stellenbosch abomthethwa angibazi kahle ama-player we-Stellenbosch. I still need to study ama-player wabo yabona. So I think they're gonna a lot strong.
But then do you think that, okay, fine, first game we saw an 11, then he made 2 changes, and ever since he's made those changes, those guys have played, maybe most of them are on their 3rd game now, they're about to go in their 4th game. Do you think that maybe that's going to help Stellenbosch? Because by the time, if Ucho's there, Agabachinchi, and he probably won't change them for an MTN8, do you think that maybe they would have figured them out, or maybe Bazo Katal?
I think uzoba nesikhathi sokuthi ababone to figure them out with how they play. If Jose is gonna play the same team, I think any coach have to study if it's the same team. To know how do they play. They do have to study Pirates. They at all costs, even though they won't play the same team, like they must by the investigate certain players, and maybe Steve Barker and make those changes if need to be to make those changes. But I think kubalulekile vele ukuthi abastudishe if vele uRivero is going to use the same team, he must sit down again, watch those previous games, because I think they're gonna play 2 games before that MTN 8. Pirates, I think, is gonna play for that MTN 8. I think Steve Barker has time to do all the analysis so that he can check to close those gaps and find them balele. Yeah, I think that's the most important thing in football, is to study your opponents and the players as well.
Okay. No, thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys, to my first panel. We covered this Pirates Stellenbosch. We're going to go into Chiefs Sundowns, but I think all I want to say is the most interesting point of this game is going to be Stellenbosch caught Pirates at a time when, for whatever reason, Rivero decided to make certain decisions with his team. We saw Hoto starting. We saw Makaringe starting at the 10, right? So it's going to be interesting to see now that Rivero has found his team, right? 2 things. Now that he's found his team, if they were to go up against each other again, would it be, again, the question of did Stellenbosch stop them, or was Pirates just not set up properly? Then the secondary question for me is, this team, as it's constructed, is doing very well. But by the time MTN 8 comes around, with those 2 semi-final games, will Rivero be forced to start experimenting with the team? Will we see Abo Kapinga or those guys being integrated back into the team? And how does that factor into the game versus Stellenbosch? I think Barker is going to be somewhat defensive, and is going to try catch them on the break. But now we'll see whether it was a flash in the pan win or if it was a very good performance from his team, you know. I think we're going to maybe see some depth from the Pirates, like somebody saying Loch and Tim, somebody saying Abo Kapinga. There's so many guys that you come in, but do you mess with a formula that's already working? And by that time, these players, most of those players, I know 9 of the Pirates players have now up to this point played 3 games, right? They're going to play probably a 4th one today. What type of wear and tear will those guys have, and will he be forced to experiment? But I don't think it's going to be as easy as people are saying it is. Because as much as Pirates has been incredible over the past few days, I think the question you have is what happens when you come up against a structured team? So what happens when you come up against a team that knows how I'm going to defend? Like at some points during the Royal AM game, you could see Gutai Royal AM is all over the place. At some points during the Kukune game, Avocado Uso, Nabo Mobi were all over the place. You can maybe not guarantee, but you'll be sure that Stellenbosch will be a little bit more well-drilled in terms of the defending aspect. And now, what will happen then to Babo Saleng if you don't have the space in behind to take advantage? What happens if they do play the type of game they played in that first game? What does the pressure do, right? If Stellenbosch is able to steal one, for example, let's say Danny Craven Stadium 1-0, and let's say the game at Orlando is the second leg. What happens when you're going in 1-0 and now it's 50th, 60th minute? You know, how do the players react? How do the fans react? Can Stellenbosch use that against them, right? It's those questions, man, because even in that first game that Stellenbosch played against Pirates, for example, there were a couple of places where they caught Pirates out, but decision-making let them down, right? And there were times when Pirates had Stellenbosch on the ropes and couldn't do anything. But now in a cup situation where you have to win the game, how does that factor in? And I would love to see, I think the one thing I want to see, especially now, when Pirates is playing so well at Orlando Pirates, at Orlando Stadium, I want to see what happens when a team comes to frustrate them. How does that impact the fans? How does that impact the players? Because we know the moment it goes 2-3-0, the energy that is given to that team from that stadium is incredible. But now I want to see what does frustration do? Like the other way around, what happens when they're losing? You know, those are the type of things I'd love to see. And MTN8, Stellenbosch, I think that's a team that could give them a feeling like that because of the situation of the cup. So let's see how that's going to play out.